Hello there, I'm Martin Phillips, and welcome back to the Phuket Property Masterclass. In episode 1, we explored why Phuket became one of Asia's leading lifestyle destinations. Today, we'll explore how foreigners can legally own property in Thailand and which ownership structure may suit you best. In episode 1, we explored why Phuket has become one of Asia's leading lifestyle destinations and why so many international buyers choose to make the island part of their lives. We also established an important principle that will guide this entire series. Successful property ownership begins with understanding. Today, we build on that foundation by answering one of the most important questions every international buyer asks. How can foreigners legally own property in Thailand? The answer is often misunderstood or oversimplified. Ask 10 people how foreigners buy property in Thailand, and you'll probably receive 10 different answers. Some will tell you foreigners cannot own property. Others will say leasehold is unsafe. Some insist freehold is the only sensible option. The reality is far more straightforward. Every year, billions of dollars worth of Thai property is legally purchased by international buyers using ownership structures that have been established and recognized under Thai law for decades. Thailand's property laws are not as complicated as many people believe. It is that many buyers make decisions before fully understanding how those laws work. Our purpose today is not to tell you which ownership structure is best. It is to explain the options available, how they differ, and why the right choice depends on your own objectives. Whether you are purchasing a holiday home, a retirement residence, a family property, or an investment, understanding the legal framework behind your purchase is just as important as choosing the property itself. Let's begin. Before discussing ownership, it's important to understand why Thailand has developed its current legal framework. Many international buyers naturally assume property ownership works the same way everywhere. It doesn't. Every country has its own legal system, shaped by its history, economy, and national priorities. Foreign ownership rules vary widely around the world. Singapore restricts ownership of certain residential properties. Switzerland limits foreign purchases in many locations, and even within the European Union, property laws differ significantly between countries. Thailand is no different. Its property laws were designed to achieve two important objectives: encouraging international participation in the property market while preserving Thai ownership of land. Rather than preventing foreigners from purchasing property, Thailand has created a number of recognized legal ownership structures that allow overseas buyers to participate within that legal framework. Once you understand that principle, the different ownership options we'll discuss throughout this episode become much easier to understand. Although every development is unique, most residential property in Thailand falls into three broad categories: condominiums, villas, hotel and residence developments. Each offers a different ownership experience, legal structure, and lifestyle. Rather than asking which is best, the more important question is, which one best matches my objectives? Let's look at each in turn. Condominiums are the most common form of property ownership for international buyers in Thailand. Registered under the Thai Condominium Act, each apartment has its own individual title, while owners also share ownership of the common areas, including swimming pools, landscaped gardens, fitness centers, reception areas, lifts, parking facilities, and other communal amenities. For many overseas buyers, condominiums provide the most straightforward ownership structure. Professionally managed developments, shared facilities, and relatively low maintenance responsibilities make them particularly attractive for holiday homeowners, retirees, digital nomads, and buyers seeking a property that is easy to own and manage. In many locations, condominiums also benefit from broad rental demand and relatively straightforward resale opportunities. Like any property, however, ownership involves ongoing responsibilities. Service charges, sinking funds, and the quality of the management company all play an important role in protecting both the property and its long-term value. Throughout this masterclass, you'll hear us return to one consistent principle. The quality of the management is often just as important as the quality of the property itself. For many international buyers, a well-managed condominium represents one of the simplest, most practical, and most flexible ways to own property in Thailand. For many people, owning a villa in Phuket represents the ultimate lifestyle aspiration. Villas offer a level of privacy, space, and independence that is difficult to replicate in a condominium. Private gardens, swimming pools, and generous outdoor living areas make them particularly attractive to families, retirees, and buyers looking for a luxury holiday home. Well-located villas can also generate attractive rental income when professionally managed, although for many buyers, lifestyle remains the primary motivation. Villas differ from condominiums in one important respect: the land. In many countries, buying a house automatically includes ownership of the land beneath it. Thailand operates differently. Under Thai law, foreigners are generally not permitted to own land directly. As a result, villa ownership is often structured through registered leasehold rights or other legally recognized arrangements, depending on the individual development. This is one of the most misunderstood areas of Thai property ownership. It does not mean foreigners cannot buy villas. It means the legal structure requires careful consideration and independent legal advice. A qualified lawyer should explain exactly what rights you are acquiring, how those rights are registered, how they may be transferred or inherited, and the legal protections available to you. Because no two developments are structured in exactly the same way, every purchase should be assessed on its own legal merits. Like any property, villas also bring greater ownership responsibilities. Larger homes require more ongoing maintenance, from gardens and swimming pools to building upkeep and security, particularly for owners who spend only part of the year in Thailand. Professional property management can simplify these responsibilities, but the ongoing costs should always be factored into your decision. Ultimately, choosing a villa is about balancing lifestyle aspirations with the practical responsibilities of ownership. For many buyers, that balance makes a villa one of the most rewarding ways to own property in Thailand. Hotel and residence developments have become one of the fastest growing sectors of the resort property market, combining private ownership with professional hospitality management. You may also hear these developments described as serviced residences, resort residences, hospitality residences, or integrated resorts. Owners purchase a private residence for their own use, while having the opportunity to generate rental income when they are not in occupation. Unlike a traditional buy-to-let property, guest bookings, housekeeping, maintenance, and day-to-day operations are typically managed by a professional hospitality operator. For overseas owners, this offers a more convenient ownership experience, with access to hotel-style facilities such as reception, concierge services, restaurants, fitness centers, resort swimming pools, and professionally maintained grounds. Like every property type, however, hotel and residence developments have their own operating model. Before purchasing, buyers should understand matters such as owner usage rights, rental programs, management agreements, operating costs, and any revenue sharing arrangements. These are not disadvantages, they are simply characteristics of a different ownership model. The important question is not whether hotel and residence developments are better than condominiums or villas. The important question is whether this style of ownership best matches your lifestyle, your objectives, and the level of involvement you want in managing your property. Let's explore one of Thailand Property's biggest questions: freehold or leasehold, and which is right for you. We've now reached one of the most misunderstood aspects of buying property in Thailand: leasehold and freehold. Few topics generate more questions or more misinformation. Let's separate fact from fiction. The first point to understand is that both leasehold and freehold are legitimate legal ownership structures recognized under Thai law. Neither is inherently better than the other. Each has different characteristics, advantages, and limitations. The important question is, which ownership structure best suits my objectives? What is freehold? Freehold generally means permanent ownership. When a foreign buyer purchases a freehold condominium in Thailand, ownership of the unit is registered at the land office. The owner has the legal right to live in the property, sell it, transfer it, mortgage it, where financing is available, and pass it to beneficiaries through their estate in accordance with Thai law. For most overseas buyers, this is the closest form of ownership to what they are familiar with in their home country. There is, however, one important limitation: the 49% foreign ownership quota. Thai law permits foreigners to own condominium units freehold, but limits foreign ownership to 49% of the total saleable floor area within a condominium development. The remaining 51% must be owned by Thai nationals, eligible Thai legal entities, or offered under leasehold arrangements. This quota has successfully balanced international participation with Thai ownership for many years. Once the foreign freehold allocation is fully subscribed, additional overseas buyers can only purchase foreign freehold if another foreign-owned unit is sold back into the available quota. This is why freehold units often command a premium, not because the apartment is different, but because the available freehold quota is limited. What is leasehold? The word lease often causes unnecessary concern because it carries different meanings in different countries. A properly registered leasehold is not simply renting. It is a recognized legal property right that gives the buyer exclusive possession and use of a property for the registered lease term. A leaseholder may live in the property, use it as a holiday home, rent it, subject to the project's rules and applicable laws, renovate the interior, sell or assign the remaining lease term, and pass those rights to beneficiaries in accordance with Thai law and the lease agreement. From a practical perspective, the day-to-day ownership experience is very similar to freehold. Leaseholders enjoy the same apartment, the same facilities, the same management services, and the same lifestyle. The principal legal difference is that a leaseholder owns the registered right to occupy and use the property for the lease term, but does not own a proportionate share of the underlying land. How long does a leasehold last? Residential leasehold interests are commonly registered for periods of up to 30 years. Many developments also include contractual renewal provisions that may extend the practical period of occupation. These renewal rights can provide additional comfort, but they should not be confused with a single registered 90-year lease, which Thai law does not currently provide. Understanding this distinction is important. If freehold exists, why choose leasehold? There are several reasons. The first is the 49% foreign ownership quota. Once that allocation has been fully sold, additional foreign buyers can only purchase through registered leasehold. Secondly, some resort developments are intentionally structured as leasehold from the outset. Retaining ownership of the underlying land provides greater flexibility for long-term management, hotel operations, rental programs, and future redevelopment. Leasehold properties can also be priced more competitively than comparable freehold units. Leasehold is therefore not simply an alternative to freehold. In many developments, it is the ownership structure that best suits both the project and the buyer. Is leasehold safe? A better question is, has the legal documentation been properly prepared? A well-structured leasehold arrangement should typically include a properly registered lease, clearly defined renewal provisions, transparent contractual obligations, professional legal documentation, independent legal advice, land office registration where applicable. When these elements are in place, registered leasehold has been successfully used throughout Thailand for many decades. Which should you choose? There is no single answer. Instead, ask yourself, is this primarily a lifestyle purchase or an investment? How long do I expect to own it? Do I intend to pass it to my family? Is rental income important? Am I prepared to pay a premium for freehold ownership? The answers will usually determine which ownership structure is the better fit. Look at the whole picture. Ownership structure is important, but it is only one part of the decision. Location, construction quality, developer reputation, property management, rental demand, future infrastructure, and your own objectives will often have a greater influence on the long-term success of your purchase. The most successful buyers look at the complete picture. That is the philosophy behind this masterclass. In this episode, we've explored the principal property types available to international buyers in Thailand and the legal ownership structures that support them. Most importantly, we've seen that there is no universally best form of ownership, only the structure that best matches your objectives. In our next episode, we'll build on that foundation by examining the legal buying process, due diligence, and the practical steps involved in purchasing property in Thailand with confidence. Thank you for watching episode 2. I'll see you again in the next episode.